Good morning. Welcome to another day in Myanmar. It's going to be a very hot day today, I think. I looked at the temperature online and it's supposed to go up to 107 degrees today. I don't know what that is in Celsius. That's a Fahrenheit 107, and I know that's hot. I don't have any particular destination in mind today. I'm just heading down towards the riverfront. I'm going to walk around the river, walk around my neighborhood here in Yangon, and see what there is to see. My usual pattern. And hopefully I'll find something interesting along the way. I don't quite know where I'm heading, to be honest, or what's down here. Pretty crazy, busy street right here beside the river. Took quite an effort to get across this street, I'll have to tell you that. We've got some interesting buildings across the road there, an old building there, a couple of the Strand Hotel down there, and some kind of a clock tower. Pedestrian bridge down in that direction, so I guess I could have crossed over there. But I found a little road behind me looks like it's heading closer to the river itself, so I'm going to head down that way and see what there is to see over here. I just noticed a lot of people walking in this direction, and there seemed to be some food and drink stalls. I noticed that a lot of this area is kind of industrial, you know, the big shipping containers and things like that. So I don't know how accessible the riverfront is to a foreigner on foot like me. We'll find out in a couple of minutes here. Just about down at the riverfront here. And there's the river. I had no idea what the river was going to look like, or if there was going to be any boats along the river at all. Is there fishing down here? I kind of looked at the area on Google Maps, and I didn't see a lot of activity, you know, from the satellite images. I didn't see a lot of boats. It didn't look anything like Dala from what I saw on Google Maps. But yeah, there are some boats here, and actually I see a lot of boats off in that direction there. And I think there's a ferry service that goes back and forth over there. So I'm going to walk up the river in this direction and look for that ferry service. Maybe I can cross the river. Well, that solves the mystery of why so many people were coming down this narrow road to the dock area. It's because they have the small boats here helping people get across the river, a little ferry service back and forth. Way down on the river shore there, you can see a pack of dogs frolicking about. So I think I'm going to walk in that direction and see what there is to see down there. There's some more boats coming in for landing, coming in hot. The river's actually moving pretty fast. That's a much faster current than I expected. They had to really come in with their motor running to beat that current. Look at that, I never even noticed that until now. Now I want to see when this boat hits that current, what he has to do in terms of steering and the throttle. He's already going in at a pretty hard angle. It's just about to hit the current now. Yeah, he just reached it. Yeah, you can see how fast the current is. He's really moving downstream. They have these boats, if they ever lost their engine, they'd really go a long way down the river before they could recover. I spoke to one passenger down there to ask him how much it cost to go across on the boat, and before he could answer, one of the boatmen jumped in, cut him off, and said it was 5,000 chats to go across. And I'm pretty sure that's not the real price for local people. There's no way they're paying 5,000 chats to go across, but I think they see foreigners come down here from time to time, and that's the foreigner price. Anyway, I'm just going to take a walk along the river here, see what's going on. Maybe I'll come back a little bit later on and hop in one of those boats just for the experience. Man, that 107-degree heat, again, no joke. It is pretty hot. I have no idea what this building is. Large blue thing, restaurants. I wasn't sure if I could even come into this area, but a lot of people were walking through here. Hello, how are you? There's a Poochie. Hey, Poochie. Oh, it looks like a restaurant of some kind. I'm fine, thank you. There's a sign for this place, and I guess it's the Junior Duck Restaurant. I've been walking along the riverfront and I reached this point, and I don't think there is very much reason to keep walking in that direction. It's just getting all very industrial. Just got this busy, crowded road to navigate. And this bridge here brings people down to where the ferry crosses the river. I think that's the main ferry here. Walking back down into the port area where the big ferry leaves from. As I said, there didn't seem to be much reason to walk further down the main road, so I'm going to duck back in here and follow the same path along the river. Maybe catch a ride on one of these boats if I can figure out how to do that. And this is the dock leading down to the ferry. It looks like you could take a bicycle in there if you wanted to. You could buy a ticket here to go across. Okay. How much is it? 100. 100?
Yes.
Or 1,000?
1,000. Just.
Okay, I'll find out. Yep. Inside?
That's the locket. Right inside.
Take it inside. Guess we have to buy a ticket inside. I think there might be a special price for foreigners.
Excuse me, you want to go ferry?
Yeah, just going to go across, just to look around.
Each person, both way, 4,000.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, going back.
Okay. That's interesting. I'm going to look out the dock just for a second here. Take a look.
Ferry every 20 minutes. Last ferry 9 p.m.
Ah.
Every day the crossing. A lot of tourists there.
Okay. There goes the ferry. Goes across to Dala, right?
Dala.
Dala. Yeah. And how much does it cost again for one person?
1 person, 4,000.
4,000 for both
Both way.
both way. Okay. And the ferry goes every
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Last ferry 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Okay. And how much is it for Myanmar people?
100.
100. So much cheaper. Better deal. 100 one way.
One way.
Yeah.
Two way 200.
200. So this ferry just arrived and they're unloading the passengers. And then I guess it'll take 20 minutes for it to load up and head to the other side. I'm told there are some attractions on the other side. So you can take the boat there and see a tsunami village and other places. But I think I'll just ride the boat and come back just for fun. It's too hot to go wandering around.
That's for you. For present.
Thank you. I could use it. Write my name?
Yes. If you write name, passport number, country.
Yeah. Thank you.
Go with him.
Yeah, other side very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, other side is like a small city. They have many trees, also so hot.
All right. It's okay. Like I said, I'm just going to ride the boat across and come back again. Nothing special.
Because when you are outside too, when you go outside, you see the bamboo village, tsunami village, fisherman village, very nice.
It's okay. Like I said, I'll probably just go across and come back.
You don't have to go outside?
No,
Outside
I don't
very
think
beautiful.
so. No, I don't. Not today. I don't think. It's too hot. Could I see the?
Yeah.
Get there. And there we are. So there's my ferry boat across the river. Oh. Pretty busy boat, it looks like. It's not taking long for it to fill up at all. That's interesting. Well, it didn't take long for the boat to fill up and then start leaving. There we got a guy jumping to catch the boat. It looks like he left his friend behind. He's not going to risk the jump. He's going to wait for the next boat. I don't know how much of that I caught on video, but buying the ticket, you have to go to a special office for foreigners only, and they charge 4,000 kyat. Well, 2,000 one way, and for locals, it's 100 kyats. So it's a bit of an unfortunate trend I've noticed in Myanmar, that the prices for foreigners are like very much higher than the prices for local people. And yeah, it's a pattern that you see in a lot of different countries. It's a bit unfortunate. We arrived on the far side, and I have no particular reason to get off the boat. But since I'm here, I figure I'll go for a little bit of a walk around, see what's here.
Very nice. You like photo, fishing village, many fishing boat or fisherman living house.
Right.
Like, very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not today. No, it's just, for me, it's just too hot. Yeah, it's okay. Ooh.
Which shop is this umbrella?
All right, they have an umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now is my country very hot. Is also people want is umbrella or you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot busier on this side than I expected. I don't know where all these people are going, but it's a very busy spot for people to come across from Yangon, hop on buses and other transportation to go somewhere else in the country. And when I got here, there was quite a bit of interest in me kind of as a tourist. There's guys here that want to take me out to see like a fishing village and a bamboo village and things like that. And I have no idea what these places are. So I just told them that it was too hot for me to go anywhere today. And I'm just going to walk around the docks, see what's going on here. They haven't had mass tourism here for a very long time yet. Hello. Hello. But they seem to have developed a few systems already. When I bought my ticket on the other side, you know, for 4,000 kyats, my round trip ticket, instead of handing the ticket to me, they gave it to a young man who was standing beside me and said to me, follow him. And of course, the way they did it made it seem like it was very official, that he had to, you know, do something with my ticket and escort me onto the boat. But it turns out he was just a young guide who wanted to make money, you know, going with me across on the boat and going to these fishing villages and things. And by handing him my ticket and giving it to him, I was kind of his prisoner until I got my ticket back. So I just eventually turned to him and said, hey, can I have a look at that ticket? And he handed it to me so I could look at it, and then I just kept it. And once I had my own ticket, then of course I could just get on the boat on my own. I didn't really need a guide to get on the boat. But it was interesting they used that little trick to make me think that I needed him to help me. I have to say, I have kind of a funny relationship with places like this that have a tourist attraction. I think if I were here riding my bicycle around and I stumbled across a fishing village or bamboo village, whatever that is, I'd find it quite interesting and I'd probably go out of my way to go there. But since I had this idea to take this ferry across and everybody is approaching me, you know, do you want to go to the bamboo village? Do you want to go to the fishing village? And I just keep saying no, because everyone is trying to force me to go to those villages, you know what I mean? They have a vehicle ferry operating almost from the same area. Just to the right there is the passenger ferry terminal. And it looks like the vehicle ferry docks over here. And off to the left, you've got an old passenger ferry that has seen its service. Its service is now over, just abandoned at the side of the river. You can really see the current with these small boats. This small one here is really fighting to make any progress. And that's it for my visit to this side of the river at Dala. As I said, I think the main reason to come out here for most tourists would be to go to some nearby villages. At least every taxi driver, tuk-tuk driver in this whole area is very keen to bring me there. But I decided just to walk up and down the river a little bit, and now I'm heading back across again. I kind of made a mistake because I entered the ticket taking area thinking that I could just walk down to the dock, and take some video of the boats and things like that. But after I went through the ticket area, I find myself trapped in this waiting area. They actually have the door locked and barred, and they won't let us onto the docks until the next boat arrives. So I'm kind of sitting here sweating to death. I'll show you the roof up above me. There's the roof up there, and as you can see, none of the fans are operating. And with none of those fans operating, it's a bit of a sweat box in here. Another new experience coming across here was the number of children that followed me around, constantly asking for money. And I haven't had that experience for a while because it doesn't happen in Malaysia, of course, and it almost never happened in Sumatra when I was there. And it didn't happen in Bangladesh either, like in where I spent all my time in Dhaka. So being here and being followed by all the children asking for money all the time was a familiar experience because it happened to me in so many other countries. But I haven't had that experience for a while. But it's pretty common here. And they were quite interested in my cameras, of course, and as I stopped to change batteries and memory cards, I got quite a large audience following my every move. So, waiting for my boat across the river. They opened the gate, so it's time to head out of this sweat lodge and head down to the dock where I hope it's a little bit cooler. Hope there's a breeze down there. Get these flies off of my ears. So let's go. I find these boats surprisingly busy, surprisingly crowded. Look at all the people getting off of that boat that just arrived. A lot of people. And an equally large crowd over here of people waiting to get on. Time to board the boat. And there's the view downriver. And there is my ferry boat heading across. Check out the back of this ferry, the Cherry 1. Man, I can't get over how fast this current is. It's moving. I don't know how long it stays on shore before it takes off. I'm back on the other side of the river, just waiting for the crowds to clear before I walk up the dock. A short but fun little trip coming back. Funny thing though is they have that designated area, foreigners only it says. And on the trip back there were like 4 other foreigners on the boat, but none of them sat in that area designated for foreigners, which is kind of funny. It's like something I could predict. Foreigners like me, we wouldn't feel comfortable sitting in an area that said had a big sign on it that said foreigners only. We don't like being excluded like that or set aside like that. I guess because we pay 20 times more than local people, they give us this special seating area, but none of us would ever sit in that area. But all the monks on the boat, they did sit in that area. So really, it's not so much a foreigner-only area as a monks-only area, which is kind of interesting. I'm being run over by bicycles and trolleys here on the ramp. The new people being led on board. That's quite a crowd coming out. And people coming in here too, so I'm having a hard time getting out. Waited too long perhaps. That's it. Made it out. It wasn't easy though. They have a lot of people to unload and load each trip, so they can't mess around. They open those gates and people fly on board. And the people that haven't paid yet are like flinging their money all in a big ball, you know, just tossing it at them as they pass by the table. Busy area. Lineup of taxis waiting to pick up passengers. And they always look at me, hopefully. But I break their heart every time because I walk past them and keep walking, as I tend to do. One last thing to do today. I'm going to try and take one of these small boats across the river. Just going to get on one and see what happens. I'm just going to go across the river and then turn around and come back again. Got one boat here carrying a refrigerator. I don't know if he's taking any more passengers. And there's a happy puppy staying cool in the muddy river. Get on here?
No,
Why not? No.
only one.
Huh?
Only one.
Okay.
Only one $5.
They won't let me ride on the public boat. I have to ride on a private one for 5,000, he says. Maybe I'll do that just for the fun of it. They're definitely figuring out how to take advantage of tourists here in Myanmar. Whew. Did I get this one? Sure. They have the whole system worked out. All right. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah. So this is my boat guy behind me. Hello. And we're heading off across. Gotta watch your head so you don't get hit. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. No thanks. Just no. I just came to ride the boat. That's all.
Go, Saki. Come on.
I made it to the other side of the river, and I don't really know what's over here. There's a stone walkway cement and brick walkway that I'm following. It's kind of following a small river, very muddy small river heading inland. And there are some houses on stilts up ahead, some boats. It's a funny system they're developing here in Myanmar, I have to say. Having a higher price for a foreigner is not so unusual, but here at this boat area, they charge quite a bit more, and then they force you to take your own boat. So what I was looking for was the experience of just getting on a boat with local people and going across with them, but I wasn't allowed to. I had to pay 5,000 chats. And then they forced me to take a private boat. I didn't have a choice in the matter. I signaled to some other people on shore, to come on, the boat's going across, let's go together. But nobody would get on the boat with me. That was interesting. Came across this very colorful site here, a pagoda, bright green colors. A very colorful Buddha. There are a lot of pagodas on this side of the river. Passed quite a few of them. And they're quite large complexes too. This one is quite extensive. And there's not a lot going on over here, probably because it's midday. Not a lot of people outside except me. And that's where you catch the boat to go back across the river. The mud flats. And that's what smart people do in the middle of the day. Take a nap in the shade. I'm heading back to the small boat to go back across the river. Pay another 5,000 chats for the privilege. The funny thing is, I'm about, half a kilometer away from the big ferry terminal. I could walk there and take the big ferry. I think they pay 100 chats for the trip. And here I'm taking a small boat for 5,000 chats, 50 times what a local person would pay on the big ferry. I'm not sure what a local person would pay on one of these boats. The funny thing is that I have seen some local people, men that, for example, that looked a little bit more prosperous in their clothing and whatnot, and they automatically got on a boat all by themselves too. They got a private boat, and there didn't seem to be any discussion about that. It was just assumed. They just walked up, got on a boat, and the boat left. So I think they pay more as well than an average person, but I don't know what it is that they pay. An interesting thing I've noticed in my few days here is that when I interact with people, like smile at them or make eye contact, I really get very little response, like almost no response compared to, say, people in Bangladesh or Indonesia. Yeah, they seem very shy. I'm back at the shoreline here, about to hop on the boat. Got the camera running. Oh, I've got a guy coming down the river here. Time to board my boat, I guess, or board one of these boats. There's my boat. And off we go on my private boat once again. got all these people there waiting for a boat. And here we go. There's my boatman behind me. When I came across the first time, there were a lot of big waves. We were bouncing up and down quite a bit. Once we got out in the middle, have to see how it goes this time. That sun is beating down, I gotta tell you. Hot sun today. Thank you. Well, I made it across once more. And that is it. All hot and sweaty. I'm ready to call that the end of my river experience here in Yangon. 4 boat rides in total. 2 on the big ferry, 2 on the small boat. I'd call that a fairly successful little adventure. Now I have to navigate this busy street. Oh, this isn't even the busy street. This is the easy one to get across. The busy one is up ahead there. Here it is, the busy street, and I'm gonna rush across right here. Get halfway. And then I'll wait here in the middle to try and make it the rest of the way. across. Back in the busy traffic of the city. As I said the other day, the people in Myanmar are not shy about their personal space, and that leads to their cars. They don't mind laying on the horn if they have to. So here I am back in the busy traffic of Yangon, walking towards my hostel. I'm gonna get a cold drink. And that is the end of today's video, and I will see you in the next one.